right, screen is in. All right, and I'm on the side. Okay, so here we go. This is the Business Funding Masterclass with our Mr. Soliman, the CEO of the Afghan Business Alliance. I am your host, Dishawn Irwin. I'm a funding strategist with DTI Business Management. I met Mr. Soliman by way of HOMA, and we have attended one of the networking events in Southern California at the Small Business Development Center. We were networking with other lenders, we're networking with other business owners and things like that. So we decided to do this class together to help bring more information to you guys, to the public regarding business funding. And I'm going to take some of the information from what we learned in that presentation and bring it here as well, and then also some of the knowledge that I have as well to be able to give to you. But I just want to let you guys know there are tons of lenders out here that want to give you your money. They want to give you guys money, but you have to set yourself up right. And that's what we're going to be showing you here today and then in the months to come. I want to make sure that you guys can get access to the funding that you deserve. If you don't have a business, HOMA is going to actually put a link inside of the chat where you guys can go to setting up your business, and we will actually hold your hand and walk you through it. And that is just something that we do out of the kindness of our heart to make sure that everybody has this information and access to funding. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the presentation. So this is what we're going to cover today. We're going to start off talking about the foundation. This is what is going to actually be what we build our house on, and build business credit and business funding is the house. All right, so we're going to lay down the foundation first. It's going to take us a little bit of time to lay down the foundation, and then after I lay down the foundation, then I'm going to go ahead and jump into building the house with you. All right, I'm going to share with you guys the benefits of business credit. I love business credit. There's so many great things to talk to you guys about with business credit. It's changed my life, and I'm sure if you guys take action and some of this information, it's going to change yours as well. We're also going to talk about high limit credit card strategies. We're going to talk about how to build your business credit and building it fast. I'm going to share with you guys my easy funding sequence that you guys can actually implement and take action with now. I'm going to share with you some of the best banks for getting the high limit funding. We're also going to talk about how you can get something called no doc funding. And basically no doc funding, just to let you guys know, is just filling out an application, right? And that's it. And getting yourself access to thousands of dollars with no documents having to present to the bank or to the lender. All right. So if that sounds good, we're going to go ahead on and get into it. Let's go. All right. So the foundation, yes, the foundation of this all is your personal credit, okay? Your personal credit is going to be the foundation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If anybody tries to tell you guys different, do not listen to them. You are going to have to structure and build out your personal credit, right? So taking action and protecting this by all means is going to be so important. You want to protect your personal credit by all means. This is going to be the gateway to you getting thousands and thousands of dollars. All right. And I'm going to show you some different tips and tricks that you can actually implement today in building out your personal credit. So I want you to leverage your personal credit so it's the cosigner for your business. All right. Your personal credit is going to be what allows the banks to see that you are worthy for them to lend to. All right. So when we say PG is okay, that is basically just personally guaranteeing. You're personally guaranteeing that your business will pay them back. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the 3 must-knows of business funding. First, once again, your personal credit is your foundation. The second, you're going to have to know your data points. And 3, relationship banking is everything. All right. So I'm going to share with you guys what the data points look like. I'm going to also be talking to you guys about having a good business relationship, like with your banks. Now, these are the 3 big bullies of personal credit. It's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. A lot of you guys have already heard of these, but I'm just going to let you guys know these companies right here are what's housing all of the information about you. These are the big three. Now, there's many other secondary credit reporting agencies, but these ones right here are responsible for giving you your score, right? And that is your FICO score. So the ideal credit profile I want you guys all to have is going to be making sure you have 100% payment history. That means no late payments. Ideally, just so you know, a late payment will stay on your credit report for 7 years if you do not get it removed. Now, we work really, really hard at helping our clients get the late payments removed, but I'm not going to lie to you, late payments are the hardest to remove from your credit report. They're the hardest to dispute. I mean, I have people that join the program, and I have to tell you guys straight up, as soon as you start, this is going to be difficult. You have to be in it for the long run. If you stick it out and you keep fighting, you will get these items removed. But there's going to be times when it takes 10 months and 11 months to get a late payment removed. So my recommendation to you is to put everything on minimum auto pay, okay? Even if you don't think you have the money, at least it sets a reminder to you so that you can go back and pay it later on. When you do, you get, after your due date, you're going to get another 30 days before it hits on your credit report. So you actually get like 60 days. So set that minimum payment due before it hits your credit profile as late. And call the bank. Try to negotiate something with them. Say, hey, this is what's happening. I need a little more time. I need a payment plan, something, but just do not ignore it. All right, because this is going to be very, very, very important to you. Lenders will deny you if you have a late payment on your credit report, whether it's for 12 months, sometimes 24 months, and some lenders will even look out 36 months and say, you know what, we're not going to take the risk. And the way banks are these days with their lending, they're tightening things up. So we have to be extra, extra careful with late payments. Now, utilization is the other big one. Utilization, you want to make sure that all your personal credit cards you're not carrying more than 10% of whatever balance you have. So whatever credit card you have, let's say you have $1,000 credit card, you're not going to want to be spending or having more than $90 reporting on your credit report as a balance due every single month. So having this under 10% is also huge. These two right here account for about 60 to 70% of your credit score. That's how important utilization is and payment history is, just so you guys know. Very, very big. We have different strategies to getting this down as far as your utilization, and that's where business credit comes in. And I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about that in just a minute. The other big one is making sure that your average age of all your credit cards is at least 5 years old. That's going to give you a solid profile, and that's also going to raise your credit score. So let me give you guys an example about this. Let's say you have a credit card right now and you've had it for 10 years. Okay, you've had that credit card for 10 years, but then you hear about this great offer because you joined my class and I'm telling you, get this card, get this card, get this card. And then you finally get this particular card and you're happy about it. Well, now what you've done is you have 2 cards, but you've dropped your average age to 5 years, right? Because you have 2 cards, one that was 10 years old and you just got a brand new one. So now you have 5 years of age. You're good still, right? You're still okay. But what happens now is that if you get another card, that's going to reduce your average age to 2.5 years, and that is going to be a very new account on your credit report. And those having too many new accounts on your credit report and having the age of your average can also hurt you. Now, there's different strategies that you can take to helping improve your age, and that is adding authorized users. So basically, you're going to jump on somebody else's credit card that has age that's very high, so that you can actually jump on their card and that will raise your age up. So then if you go and you jump on, say, Homa's card, Homa is going to let you jump on her card, and then now your age is going to go up because she has 20 years or she has 30 years on her card, and that's going to help you. So you can do the same. Now, I will say with authorized users, you're going to want to be careful about who you put on your card, because a lot of times we have clients that are jumping on their mother or their father or their friends or families, but they're not financially literate enough to understand that they're carrying a balance every month. So that when they're carrying that balance, what's happening is you're getting hit with that high utilization as well. So you've got to make sure whoever or whatever card you're getting on, they're paying their balance off, and that is not having any late payments or anything negative, because that will hit you guys as well. All right. Also, less than 4 hard inquiries in 12 months. Now, this is also very important. If you go and you start trying to get a bunch of different credit cards, and if you go and you start trying to get a bunch of different credit cards, they are going to put hard inquiries on your credit report, right? And these hard inquiries, if you have more than 4, you can be a reason why they deny you. Some banks are more inquiry sensitive than others, and it's important that you know which ones are. So for instance, American Express, they are not as inquiry sensitive, but a bank like US Bank, they are. So knowing the difference of which banks are going to be inquiry sensitive is going to be very important. All right. So the next part is you can dispute these hard inquiries off your credit report. And the brilliant thing is that you can dispute these off, especially when it's business credit. So when you're applying and you're personally guaranteeing your business, whatever account you get will not report on your personal credit report, but a hard inquiry will. So it's important that we dispute and get those hard inquiries off your credit report. And it's easier to do that because there won't be an account attached to it, right? So that's something that we also teach you to be able to do. And then also we have services where we can do it for you, right? The other thing is a big one right now is that's comparable credit. You're going to want to make sure that you have a credit card that has at least $10,000 or more on it of a credit limit. So what's happening is banks are looking at your average spend. They're looking at seeing what your highest credit limit is. If you have a credit card on your personal side and it's only $3,000 or $4,000, the chances of you getting a $25,000, a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 credit card from them is going to be slim. So we want to get your credit scores up. This is one of the most important things that you guys can do is get your credit limits up. There's ways that you can get your credit limits up. One of the ways is going to be using as much of that balance you can as possible and paying it off. Using it, paying it off. That's going to trigger the banks in 3 months, 4 months that, hey, this person needs more credit limit. We're going to raise them up. And then you can also call your bank and request it, or you can go on the app and request to get a credit limit increase. Now, I will say to you guys that when you do request or ask for a credit limit increase, you're going to want to make sure that they are not going to put a hard inquiry on your credit report, right? So if they're not going to put a hard inquiry on your credit report, great. If they are, then you're going to want to wait till it triggers them to do it. All right. So just a little bit about your ideal credit profile. Now let's talk about your score. Let's talk about the ideal score. The ideal score today is going to be a 740 plus to getting you access to all the funding that I'm about to share with you guys. All right. You're going to want to get your score up to a 740 plus. That's with all 3 credit reporting agencies. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, if you can help it. All right. Or having an average age of all of them. It's going to depend on which bank you go to, because some banks only pull from Experian, some banks only pull from Equifax, some banks only pull from TransUnion. So you're going to want to make sure that score is as close to 740 as possible. Back in the day, like a couple of years ago, you could get by with a 680 with a lot of these credit lending debt weapons. With a loan or a credit card or some of that, you could get by with a 680 back in the day. But the way banks are tightening their lending up right now, you're going to want to make sure we get you to a 740. All right. So this is the new age of lending is what I'm. All right. So let's go ahead on and let's talk about, this is one of my secret hacks, one of the secret ways that you can get high limit credit cards. That is through Navy Federal. All right. Navy Federal is the largest federal credit union in our nation right now, and they are giving out high limits for people with low credit limit scores already or low credit card limits already, right? So like for instance, we've gotten so many people this 20,000 and 25,000 from Navy Federal that did not even have a relationship with them, but they had a good TransUnion credit score. See, they're going to be pulling your TransUnion credit score. All right. But if you can get your TransUnion credit score in good enough, you can get yourself access to qualifying for their $25,000 credit card. What that's going to do for you is that is going to put that one thing that I was telling you guys about is comparable credit on your credit profile. So now you have at least one credit card that has at least $20,000 on it, which is going to make it easier for you to get high limit business credit cards. All right. So let me go ahead and just share a little bit about Navy Federal. Navy Federal is a military type bank. They usually only service family members in the military or family active members, retired members. So you're going to have to either know somebody that's in the military to get in and use their access code, or have a friend and use their access code, or it could be one of your family members. It could be your father, your mother, your cousin, your aunt, any of them who were served in the military. This will be your access to getting in. Now, there's also one other special way that you can get in, and that is called the roommate hack, right? So the roommate hack is basically where if somebody in your household is in Navy Federal, you can actually become a member just by saying that this is my roommate and they have an account, right? Now, the hack comes in is you can actually jump on a lease. You can make sure that the person that you know who has Navy Federal, you can jump on their lease. And when you jump on their lease, and you're going to present your lease that, hey, this person right here is my roommate, and you can just present the Navy Federal that lease agreement, and this will give you access to getting into Navy Federal. I highly recommend as many of you guys jump into Navy Federal as possible. On our YouTube channel, we have more in-depth coverage of how you can do this. I also go into how you build out your relationship with Navy Federal. Some of our clients come in with challenging credit scores, and we start from the ground up by building up our relationship with Navy Federal, because Navy Federal doesn't necessarily always look at just your FICO score. They have an internal score, and they're very relationship based. So if you are showing that you are building a relationship with them by getting some of their other products, this is going to be a way that you can build out that relationship, and they're going to give you high limit credit cards either right away or over time. All right, so let's go into talking about one of my strategies. After you've gotten your $25,000 or $20,000 Navy Federal credit card, the next credit cards you should look at is going to be Discover. If you can get yourself a Discover for $10,000 after getting your Navy Federal, that's going to be a plus for you. All right. Now, Discover only does a soft pull. So you can go right now. If you don't have a Discover, anybody on this call can go right now to see if you can qualify for Discover card. Discover card is one of those really great cards that's always building up your credit limits. So it's really, I think it's one of those cards when you're starting out that it's a must have, right? So Chase is the other one. We love Chase. Right now we have our wonderful Erica, who's on the call right now. She's our Chase specialist, and we really love rocking with Erica. She does so much for us. So if you guys are with us, if you guys have gone to Chase, you guys know Erica already. If not, you guys, if you're rocking with us, you will be meeting Miss Erica, and she does such a fine job with getting all of our clients these high credit limits from Chase. So Chase will literally give you $25,000 to $50,000 if you build out your relationship with them. All right. So you're going to want to first do things like get a checking account, get a business checking account, get a personal checking account first, deposit some money in there, show some transactions. And if you already have your credit score okay, and you have that comparable credit, it's going to make it easier for you to get this type of funding from Chase. And Erica will be the one who helps you guys do that, because she knows this bank in and out. Over, I would say, almost 20 years of 15, 20 years inside of the game. I'm sorry, Erica, if I'm point shaving you, but I just want to make sure that people understand all the hard work that you put in over there at that end. All right. So the other one, an easy 15 to 25K is a bank called Unified Federal Credit Union, you guys. Go to Unified Federal Credit Union, and they will give you an extra $15,000 to $25,000 as well. All right. So these are some banks. So notice that Discover is going to pull from your Experian, I want to say. Chase can pull from Experian or Chase or TransUnion. Sometimes just Experian, sometimes both. All right. So installment loans. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is get something called installment loans. The other ones we were just talking about are revolving. Let me just tell you a little bit about what the difference is between a revolving account and a installment account. The revolving account are credit cards where you use it, and once you use that credit and you pay it back, you can use it again. That's revolving. It's constantly revolving. An installment account is going to be something like a loan that you get, an auto loan, a mortgage. They extend credit to you and you pay it back, and you pay down the principal and interest, but you don't get to keep using it over time. A revolving account, you keep getting to use it. Those are our lines of credit. And installment accounts, those are our hard loans. Now, these are some easy loan accounts that you guys can go get when you have built out your personal credit profile by getting some of the previous things I just mentioned. Now, PenFed is another military bank, but they extend and let anybody else join. So you can join PenFed and start building out your relationship with them, and you can get some of their loans that go from 25 to 50,000 with a strong experience score. The other one we like is SoFi. You can get 25 to 50,000 with SoFi. They will pull your Experian as well. And then another sneaker one in there is Lightstream. Lightstream is very popular for giving you your TransUnion. Now, when we start talking about loans, I will let you know they will require your W-2. So if you are a W-2 employee, this is going to be very, very advantageous to you. I highly recommend you guys take advantage of leveraging your job to getting yourself financials. All right. The other thing is, if you're not a W-2 employee and you're just running your own business, you're going to want to start putting yourself on payroll. All right, very important to get yourself on payroll. It will be an expense for you, but in the long run, it's going to help you qualify for a lot of lending. Nothing more than what lenders hate most is when you come in and you don't have anything on your personal side and you're writing everything off on your business. Now you're not showing any kind of income. And the one question that they're going to be asking is, how are you going to pay me back? And if you can't have the answer to that, then you're going to mess yourself up. We partner with a company called ADP, which is the largest payroll company in the nation. I highly recommend you guys get with us so that we can get you connected with payroll and get you going. And then I'm going to show you, once you do, how you can run payroll for yourself and show lots of money coming in. And then also the tax strategy behind that is going to be real estate. All right. So we also have a connect with our accountant that we can also get you connected with, and we'll give you strategies about how to write off a lot of money, but still show the banks that you have money coming in. All right. So I'm going really hard right now. Are you guys with me? Are you guys vibing with me? Am I going too fast for you? You want me to slow down? Any questions so far?
Go.
All right. Any questions right now?
Yes. Question.
You're echoing, Mr. Liddell. Talk to me though, brother. Talk to me.
Okay. How many of these bank accounts do we have to have?
Good question. I would say starting off, we want to start with at least 2. Okay?
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, talk to me.
I'm sorry. It's because when you were talking about the credit utilization, my screen froze, so I didn't get the full explanation behind it. Less than 10% utilization. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, Rena. So basically, you just want to make sure you're not carrying a balance on your personal credit cards of more than 10%. So if you have, let's just make it really easy, $100 credit card, or let's say $1,000 credit card, you're not going to want to be carrying more than $90 of a balance to the next month. You want to make sure you pay it all the way down to at least $90, right? That's 10%. Well, that's actually $100 is 10%, but making sure you don't carry more than $100 in utilization. Otherwise, you're going to start incrementally hurting your credit score, your personal credit score. And the one gem that I dropped in there is that when you get business credit, which we're going to be talking about shortly, is that they expect you to carry a balance. They expect you to be buying goods. They expect you to be putting it against your business until your business is generating enough income. So it's not going to ding you or hurt you, and it's not going to affect your personal credit score. So that's why we always want to make sure we get personal credit. And in this conversation today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can actually get business credit without even having a business, if you're ready for that.
Oh, I have one more question. You know, for like the credit card, they say when you said auto pay, they ask me how do you want to sign? Do you want to do minimum payment per month, or do you want to do pay last statement balance? So
Yeah.
I always put last statement balance or last balance. So that's good, right?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You can do that too. I always recommend we at least bare minimum put minimum amount due, right? But if you want to put more than that, more than welcome to go ahead and do that. But bare minimum, at least the minimum.
But if
John,
I
I got
say,
a quick.
oh, I'm sorry. But if I
I'm
say
sorry.
balance,
I didn't
if
mean to
I
interrupt
say
you.
pay the balance, that's even better, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be paying that down. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
between the choice of minimum payment versus last statement balance, then you would choose the latter, right?
I would choose to pay the statement balance completely if you can. Absolutely. But I think we talked, Rena, we talked about this. So this is what I want you guys to understand. I wasn't going to really dive too much into personal credit, but let's go ahead and just talk about this. And this might go over a lot of people's heads, but we can have a deeper conversation about this a little bit later. Now, when you want to be paying, when you want to pay your balance, you want to pay before the statement close date, right? So you have a statement open date on your credit card and a statement close date on your credit card. That means from when they said from here, January 1st, some of them started January 1st, or the 1st, and then some go to say the 30th or the 28th, right? The 28th will be your statement close date. That means that they're going to be looking at all the charges in between there. Now, the trickology in paying your debt off is paying it 2 to 3 days prior to that statement close date. So if your statement close date was the 28th, we want to be making sure we pay that balance off by the 25th. Okay, so then what's going to happen is they're going to, whatever, say it's Capital One, they're going to take a screenshot on the 28th and say, this is what their balance is right now. And then that is what that is with TransUnion or Equifax or Experian is going to see, and they're going to put that in to their algorithm to dictate your score. They don't dictate it. So then, say for instance, you don't do that, and you just wait till the due date. Well, yeah, it's going to help your score, but it's going to take another almost 30 days before it reflects on your score. But to get that jump right away, we pay it at least 3 days prior to the statement close date. All right. So if you want more information on that, I know that is kind of difficult for some people to grasp because you've never heard that information before. Go to my YouTube channel. I have more in-depth information on that. And if not, if you do want more one-on-one, we can always talk about it there. All right. Let me try and keep it going, guys, because we got a lot of slides.
Hi there, my name is Alma.
Hey, how you doing,